back on another exciting episode of Starfleet So Hail, where we have a casual and informal conversation about Star Trek. Today, we are talking about Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 2. I have no bones, yet I must flee.
Nah.
So you did your homework this time, right?
I watched it. I rewatched it.
Very
Actually,
nice.
I'm not sure that I rewatched it. I think something happened in my initial watch of this season, and I think I lost this episode. Like, I think I went from
I thought you
one.
haven't seen Season 4 at all.
I've seen, I think, 4 episodes of season 4,
okay.
but I think I've only seen like 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, maybe. No, 1, 3,
interesting.
4. I don't know. I had very little memory of this, so or maybe I didn't watch it with enough attention. So it was good that I revisited it.
I'm sure you were folding laundry while you were watching it, as is your way.
No, this is the way. No, this is the way for shows that are not Lower Decks. Don't worry.
All right, very good. Well, it's exciting to be back, and I'm glad you did your homework because we'll be able to talk about this like in the moment, which will be nice. We got some folks pouring into the chat. It's nice to see Benjinium, who says bonjour. We've got Norman, who says Moopsy, and Jill. Everyone's saying Moopsy. It's so funny. Oh, and Levick, yeah, Levick. He's like Newman.
Hit the like button, people.
Oh yeah, hit the like button.
And
Smash that like button.
Spam Moopsies in the chat. There we go.
Spam move, keep Moopsy in the chat. It's true. So Toddy, I guess before we start, let me do a quick channel update. I'm so sorry, but next week we're not going to be able to get together. I forgot that it's Good Friday, and I promised my mom I would take her to a church service that's happening at 7 p.m. So it'll be cutting it too close, I think.
Fair enough.
What do you think? Could we do you think? Because I like to hang out with you afterwards. Do you think we could just do it 5 to 6 and then done and then
flee the scene of
the crime? Should we just make it so? What do you think? We should. Okay, fine. It'll be on next week then. But right at 5, and then at 6 we gotta stop on the dot and get the heck out of there. Also on this stream, so that wasn't really
perhaps Jill. Perhaps
it wasn't really an announcement, but then it definitely. Well, no, then we could do After Dark next week too, because I can't imagine church service lasting like 6 hours or whatever, or 5 hours. Like, so yeah,
it gets crazy.
So we're on next week, folks.
Church service gets crazy. It goes after dark. Church after dark.
The other announcement, real quick, after you smash the like button, of course, and share this and like chat with us and everything, is that after this you can watch Text Trek tonight on the Text Trek YouTube channel. And then Starfleet So Hail After Dark. We're definitely going to be talking about the new Doctor Who trailer, as well as all the news that's fit to talk about over a few glasses of wine or something like that. You know, who knows? Who knows where the conversation
fancy chats.
It is a fancy. It is a fancy chat. But let me move my mic. It seems like it's too high, right? Should I lower it? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, you're high and I'm low. See,
I have the high ground, Anakin.
I should be like this to make
that makes me. Yeah. Now we're looking, kind of.
Yeah, but then I'm leaning in too much. It hurts me. It pains me.
Oh look! How is this? You're in the chat. It's so confusing to me how sometimes you're in the chat and you're also here with me.
That was my other account too. So I came back as Trek on the Tube.
Here we go. We have a question for you. We'll you know what we're gonna call this part? General chatter. We're just gonna catch up with the audience and then get started. So wow, there's 25 people watching between
beating around the
Twitter
banter
and Facebook. What's that?
Beating around the banter.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, this is the question.
Yeah,
Toddy, will you get the Moopsy plushie?
Yeah, perhaps.
Good. I'm glad that landed for you.
I wasn't aware that they were doing a Moopsy plushie, but it would go well with Gorn.
Moopsy versus the Meep. Who would win? You remember the Meep from Doctor Who? Oh, you don't watch Doctor Who. You don't know
Doctor Who. What the hell is the Meep? Oh my goodness. I see. So they both look like Pokemon, basically.
They do kind of like Moopsy looks like a cat to me. And
so
actually,
what
if cats could suck
the
bones
power
out of your body, they would do it.
They would do after. What is the power of the Meep? What does the Meep do? Is he just evil?
Yeah, he's like this cute looking thing that turns. Well, I don't want to give spoilers for another show, but
so Moopsy would probably kill it. Right?
I think Moopsy would win that fight. Yeah, Moopsy would win probably any fight except against uh Murph. I think Murph would win because there's really right. Murph has no bones.
So that's my first question, but I guess it's the name of the episode, right? I have no bones, yet I must flee.
Yes.
Plant Man.
He says that he's actually. I wrote this down.
Okay.
He says at one point that he is. Did I write it down? No, I just wrote OF. The Moopsy is free. Maybe someone in our audience remembers the word he used to describe him when they said, "Don't you're like made of veggies. You don't have bones." Oh, cool. Jill's on both streams. Wow, thanks, Jill. Well, anyways, he says, I'm actually blah blah blah, and it means you're made of bone like material. So like he still has a bonish quality, like whatever bones are made
bonish
of. But
quality. All right.
Yeah. Sounds weird. We're already getting into the episode. I want you to do the episode summary because
What?
I mean, I'm totally capable of it. I've got visuals to help you out today. I actually did. You did your homework.
I'll try do my episode summary as best I can. I don't know if you're gonna be able to follow with your visuals there.
No.
The visuals will guide my summary, or do I guide the visuals?
I want you to just give your summary, and then we'll get into details.
Oh, okay.
With the visuals.
But okay, yeah. So we have almost I was going to say an A plot and a B plot, but I think there's 3 plots going on in this episode. But on one hand, we have Mariner on an away mission to a menagerie of some kind. They've been sent to pick up humans that were, like, I don't know, captured mistakenly. So this menagerie is owned by a guy that is abiding to all Federation laws and what have you, and it was an honest mistake, so he's very ready and willing to give up these humans. And so that is the main mission. But of course, Mariner is trying to sabotage that. Sabotage.
By the way, happy birthday to William Shatner. You just reminded me, it is his 93rd birthday today. It's quite an achievement. 93.
It is. That's crazy.
It's like a lot of years. It's amazing.
May the day of your birth be happy, sir. Mariner is she's kind of created this scenario in her mind that, like, I suppose everyone wants to see her fail, or that her commanding officers don't want to see her actually succeed and keep the promotions that she gets. So she's self-sabotaging by creating mischief, and she wants to basically demote herself in that process. The other plot is, of course, the fact that Rutherford hasn't been promoted with the rest of the lower decks, and he wants to challenge his way up basically by getting promoted in this one day. So he's like doing all these shenanigans, doing like the best engineering you've ever seen, but he's always getting one-upped by that random-ass dude on the other end of engineering. You know what I mean? What is he? Vidic? What's his name? I can't hear you. You're...
Sorry, I was on mute. It was...
I forget his name.
It was... what was his name?
Someone anyway, he keeps on
Livik. It was
Livik. He keeps on one-upping him, sorry. And so Rutherford's going through that challenge. Eventually, though, he manages to get his promotion because, not because he did something awesome today, but because he's been doing awesome things for a long while now.
And he didn't know you could just ask people for what you deserve.
And then so you have this beautiful final message in the episode that is like, you are given what you deserve in the world of Star Trek. Like, if you deserve the promotion, then you can ask for it and you get given that.
You just have to ask for it. Yep.
It is a true meritocracy. And then of course we have Boimler going through his shenanigans where he's trying to settle into like his new quarters. And every time there's something like outrageously wrong going on, that clearly they probably have very simple solutions that he could just figure out. Like, there's blinding lights that Rutherford shows him. Yeah, you can just turn on. I forget what it is, but the blinds basically, and it's
And it's cool. I mean, the nacelles are far away from the ship, but it's insane that the like this whole actually we're looking at the ship right now. So this is the nacelle here, and so Boimler's quarters must be in the underside there. But it's insane that all these people would be exposed to that. But as we saw at the end, of course, there's a simple way to fix
There's a simple way to fix it. At one point, he finds himself
it.
between like two holodecks in a room. Of course, I'm pretty sure there was like a simple way of like creating like a noise dampening field around the room
I'm sure there was some
that he
Boimler
just didn't know
think
about
about
or
it.
didn't think
I'm
about it
sure
in
you
that
could just
moment.
say computer dampen the
The
create
ambient
a
noise, or yeah,
yeah, or the ambient noise
isolate
from
the
the
room or whatever it
yeah,
is,
or
you know.
something like that, and it would work. Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, he doesn't have those solutions in hand. So he's going through all of these shenanigans, trying to find himself a new room, and eventually, because our boy Rutherford gets that promotion, they can become roommates, bunkmates,
Yeah,
once again, but in their own quarters.
I would room with you. I would enjoy rooming with you if I got promoted to
I
Lieutenant
would
Junior.
enjoy that too. I'm gonna
Yeah,
and we'll take it back to like the I guess the main story, which was kind of like Mariner and her challenge with like the mission and everything. During that mission, the Moopsy is released. The
yeah,
Moopsy, which is like a very cuddly, soft, cute-looking being that actually sucks the bones out of people. So it probably, I guess, injects some sort of poison that liquefies your bones before then sucking it out like a.
and like
Uh,
potent too, because like the
it's
liquefaction was like
super effective. It's super quick. That really looks like a Pokemon.
you
Um,
wouldn't like you
yeah,
like its cuteness
it
is
drinks you like
so
a smoothie, basically.
its cuteness is so I have to say that like it's a very effective predator because you would never suspect what this thing
It makes, scientifically speaking, I feel like it makes sense. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
100%. It's very well thought out. nature
So
nature
the big,
nature
of
created
course, the big question is who released the Moopsy.
yep.
I guess initial accusations would be to Mariner because she's been, sabotaging everything for like the past, however long. But no, it turns out it wasn't her. Big reveal. It was the humans that were captured.
It's always
they
the
they
humans.
released the Moopsie themselves because they wanted to take control of the station. They wanted to kill the menagerie man and take control of the station themselves because of the profit. And humans are disgusting. Um, and then we get
Indeed.
a nice little resolution with um uh Mariner and what's he called? Um oh damn it.
Ransom.
Ransom, the name eludes me. Yeah, Ransom. We get a nice little resolution between them both. They kind of talk it out. It's almost like a miniature therapy session that she gets.
I think that
When
was a really good summary, Toddy. Oh wait, are you it's not over,
that's it.
right?
That's it.
I give you I give your summary a 10. It was a very good summary.
Jesus. Ah, thank you.
Shall we we'll now say what we thought of the episode. I'll start since you gave the summary and just say that
Commodore says he thinks I'm part moop.
yeah, nice to see you, Commodore Trev, by the way. Hello. We were just on the salon last night, so if you guys want to go check out the replay, I don't think it was too crazy last night. We got into some really good deep discussions and not too much of
I
the
have a joke,
shenanigans.
but I can't really say it, so you'll just have to assume what my joke was. But anyway,
Like a joke for Commodore Trevor about the
yeah.
salon or what?
Well, it was a joke regarding like that comment specifically, but
Oh, I think I'm part moves. Oh, oh,
but yeah,
oh, God, Toddy.
but it might have to be an no. It's
No, that's an after dark joke. I already
yeah,
know. Naughty Toddy.
naughty toddy.
Naughty Toddy.
Ah.
Dang. Now I've got it in my head. All right, let's get back on track here. I don't know how that happened where you psychically sent the joke into my brain. You might be part Beta Z or Beta Zan. I always forget
We'll
what
have to
Beta
confer
Zoid
behind
goes
the
with.
scenes to see if it was indeed the same joke.
I'll even put it in the private chat, which might make you blush, but but anyways, one thing your summary was awesome, but one thing you did miss was these guys, the
Oh my
lower
god,
decks on the
completely
Romulan
forgot
ship.
the stinger, the opening stinger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you're correct. The Romulans. So we find ourselves on a Romulan ship, where these, I guess, lower ranking Romulan officers are scheming and plotting and planning the demise of their commander, as a Romulan does. But of course, this commander is very aware that everyone is scheming and plotting against him. He's completely fine with it. That's just how things roll on the Romulan ship. However, though, there is sabotage involved because he's unable to use his ship correctly, and that will not stand. He's very outraged by that.
And then there's like the second ship that's been destroyed by this
Yeah, and then
this
we
little
get
thing here.
this little kind of Star Warsy looking ship, in my
Craft,
opinion.
yeah. A little different.
It's destroyed. So this reminds me a lot of like the disappearing Romulan outposts in TNG.
Mm.
Poof, and we never got an explanation because I think there was a writer's strike, so they kind of abandoned that like whole plot back then in the 90s. But like it reminds me of that.
Well, they were kind of, I think it was a reference to the original series when the Romulans were destroying stations in Balance of Terror. But then remember at the end of that episode, we are back, Picard. The Romulans like decloak and they're all like, tell you or whatever, we are watching you or something like that. Is like very ominous. But yeah, that was the only thing you missed in your summary. And then before Commodore Trevor made you think of a naughty joke and we got sidetracked, I was going to say that this is just another delightful episode of Lower Decks. Lower Decks rarely disappoints me. And I think for me, this episode, when I was watching it again today and earlier this week to do these screenshots, I just keep laughing so much at all the gags. Like they just make me crack up. But then again, you also have such a good. It's so amazing how like Lower Decks like will make you laugh and do these absurd things like Moopsy and Narj, who's like a vegetable alien, and the Menage and all these like things. But then you get this really poignant moment where Mariner is realizing that
There's growth.
there's growth. Yeah, there's definitely growth. It's like very it's very like I think it's very relatable too. I feel like some of us, when we have what's known as like imposter syndrome, we often because of that, we often will sabotage our own, endeavors or goals. And so it takes a while. It takes like sometimes someone to really like push you hard or not give in to, what was it Ransom said? He's like, I'm determined to like, not let you win this time. And he goes, so I support you and everything. And then she says, well, I didn't do the Moopsy thing. And he says, I believe you. And I love that like moment, it was like really
Yeah.
good. So yeah, but overall, I would say, this episode just lots of stuff to talk about. Folks really, of course we're not watching it as it's coming out, so these are less of reactions, and I guess we have the benefit of like having everyone already had the discussion, so we can kind of maybe hopefully go into territories that were not explored when it first came out. But yeah, so the Romulans were cool. I love I love this ship variation. I don't remember too much about it, but I think it's a brand new version of like that kind of the Romulan. It's like a combination of the Romulan scout ship and a warbird from the TNG era.
Yeah, I like it. But I'm a big fan of Romulan vessels, especially like Romulan vessels of this era, of the TNG era. I like them a lot.
Did you notice
They're
they
like
were cutting?
my favorite.
Did you notice they were like doing something with Riemann body parts? Like they just cut up Riemann's, and the
Yeah, I mean the
captain.
command is like Riemann juice. I don't like Riemann
Riemann
juice on me.
juice. So
They got
weird.
no
I don't know
respect for Riemann's. It's
what.
like it's not even blood. It's like bleh.
Norman says in the chat. Norman says that Neutral Zone was the episode they told Picard they are back. Yeah, Balance of Terror is the episode that I think that the the whole scenario was kind of loosely inspired by. So so I get what'd you think of this?
So this was in one of the trailers, right?
Right.
Because I had flashes of things that I've seen, but I haven't seen the episode. So I think the flashes was surely. Did they take multiple shots from this episode and put them on the trailer? Maybe.
I think so. There's like I
Okay.
don't remember the trailer. It's been a long time, so I don't really remember the trailer.
So this I enjoy.
Would you wear one of those spandex outfits to work out in?
No. But
I
then
was
I
gonna
don't.
say.
Then I don't know. Like in this current context now in my life, I wouldn't. If I were living in like the Trek, maybe this is just the
it's like unisex in
Maybe
the
it's
future. It's just like a standard.
that is that outfit for that specific, exercise, or you know what I mean? Um
I like this so much. I think I did 2 screenshots. I also
okay, so I like this thing for two reasons. There's like the very simple reason, and I guess the shallow reason, I guess, is it's funny, right?
Right,
Like it's funny, it's a cool scene. It's also like a throwback to, the classic TNG, I guess, meme at this point, where Deanna and Crusher, they have on these outfits and they're doing their exercise and everything. But in a world where we often talk about like the Bechdel test and woman characters, like female characters on screen talking about men, etc., this kind of flips it, because you
mhm,
have two men, two males talking about, the whole like situation that he's going through with his significant other. Turns out to be a
right.
cat, but she's still female.
She's not a cat,
Um,
she's a Cation.
oh yeah, fair enough.
They may not even be related to cats, they just might look like cats.
Oh, that's interesting. But no, I liked that kind of like flip on it. I thought it was
Yeah, me
clever,
too.
and so it's a scene that is poignant
Well, if we
in my
ever meet
mind.
up, we should probably go to the gym and make a video and dress in, like, these
That would be
outfits. I
amazing.
think it'd
We
be
wouldn't
really
look as
cool.
sexy as them. I'm afraid.
I think we
I
would
don't
look sexier, frankly.
sexier.
Yeah,
Really?
I think yeah, I think so. I think I have, like, a young Shax, like, sexier Shax vibe, and you've
Okay.
got the Ransom, with darker hair.
You're really
Uh
selling me up. I'm gonna say that.
Jerry O'Connell is more handsome than Ransom, I think, though, in real life. I think they make him less handsome.
Oh, really? You
Yeah, I
think
think
so?
Jerry O'Connell's really good looking, but Ransom's kinda
Hmm.
okay. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways.
I don't know what this says about me, but I prefer Shax to Ransom.
Oh, I think it says exactly what I thought it would be. Like, I don't know, I kind of got that vibe that you would.
There we go.
Alright, I just took this screenshot just because I adored how cute they look here. But this was a really poignant moment for me because, again, the way they did the shot where they
That was great.
darken.
I love
Yeah,
that.
wasn't that great? Yeah, yeah, that was good.
I love that.
So
I love that a lot. I will say that, like, pacing wise, it's I think it's bizarrely placed in the season. Or like, it's not like an opening episode or a closing episode for a certain season. Like, they could have perhaps closed season 3 like this, or they could have opened season 4 like this. Like, this is like episode 2, so it's kind of weird. But I think, like, if you're like binging, you know what I mean? If you're just going through all of your Star Trek episodes one after the other, it's seamless, right?
I like
Um,
that it's unceremonious though, and then just placed in this episode. I think it makes the most sense not to
mm,
over. Well, remember we were talking about this, like, Lower Decks is just 30 minutes or less, actually, right? It's like 20. What is it?
23 something
24,
maybe. Yeah.
23 minutes, something like that. So you're right about that. Like in a binge, it makes more. It's like episode 1 and 2 are almost kind of very connected, if you will.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
there's strong continuity
there's
between
strong
them.
continuity between them, so it just feels right to have it be like in this moment because they just got promoted at the end. That was a big moment at the end of episode 1, and so you're right. It could have worked totally fine if they ended it with this, but I just kind of like that they gave it its own space, if you will. I personally,
Mm.
but yeah, it was a great moment either way. Regardless, and I'm sad a little bit, but I also like that they got quarters. So that's good. Yeah, good.
Of all the things, I think we've expressed this often, but there is precedence for crew members sleeping in the hallways. Oh, we've seen it in like some of the TOS movies, right?
Or
But
at least bunking together, like,
bunking
in
together,
groups.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I think there is one movie where they're sleeping in hallways.
Oh,
I even
okay,
think.
okay.
I
I
think
can't
so. There's
remember.
precedence for this, but
Someone in the chat, if you know, let us know.
it has always frustrated wife on the tube. She has never liked the idea of like bunking in the literally in the hallway, not having that privacy. So this was a moment for her. It was like, oh, okay, they finally get a room. So she was very happy with that, like the upgrade of the living conditions. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, on the Enterprise D, we never saw this because there's so much space, as we've learned.
Well, it's a
Ye
luxury cruise vessel, right?
It is, it's true. But yeah, the Cerritos, I
No,
think,
but
is you know.
in the context of like the Enterprise D, where you have plenty of families on board and that kind of stuff, like you don't want families bunking in, you know what I mean, like in the hallway, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So you give like families, they're like little cocoons, if you will.
Yeah,
It makes more sense.
indeed it does. So what'd you think? What'd you think of Ensign Gary? And
I like he's cute. I like him. He's fun. You know what I mean?
I love how he's like in that one scene later on. He's like, "Hey, text is yours. Hey,
Hey,
father." Um,
with his two accounts like me.
I know it's so great. You guys are giving us the views.
Everyone's
Don't
double
forget to
watching.
smash the like
Don't
button,
forget to
guys.
double smash the like button.
Double smash the like button with all your accounts and retweet. It'll
And
be
don't tell
awesome.
the algorithm that we're cheating it.
Yeah, well, no, we want to confound the algorithm, but yeah, don't tell it. Yeah, it's true. It's the only way to.
It
Apparently,
knows.
it's the
The
only way to
AI knows
confound the
now.
algorithm. Yeah, we don't really like, Toddy and I. We're not here for the likes or the views or everything, but we are definitely here to confound the algorithm. So we'd really appreciate it if you would help us to do exactly that. It would be
How
really awesome.
confusing would it be for the YouTube algorithm if this got like millions of views, like
It would be
a
great.
stream for lower
I'd be
decks? Like
so
YouTube would be like,
happy.
what? What?
Fat father just double fisted the the like button. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Uh,
So maybe I'm mistaken, but this young little ensign kind of reminded me of like how we found Boimler.
yeah, there's like a vibe of him. Yeah, it's true.
But I really
It,
like the like I don't want to be involved in like whatever this dynamic is. Are you guys breaking up? Like I don't get it. He's so confused by this whole thing. He has no history
and he's
in this
so good and
situation.
like positive until the very end when it's like
He's worried. Like,
he
you know, I don't
can't,
want to die. Fine, fair
yeah,
enough.
he
But then
can't take it
he's
anymore. It's
still, you
true.
know, he's got I don't know.
I like Instant Gary also because it reminded us our friend Gary. So shout out to
Look at
Gary if
this
you're ever
like
listening
this
to this.
collage that you've created.
I
It's
do.
great.
You didn't know I do this?
So
It's been a while
pro.
since we streamed. I've been doing this for a while. Like, but we always used to do visuals if
I've been
since.
looking at all of these pictures and I've been kind of taking it for granted that they're just all here at once. And I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. He did it.
We already talked about some of these points, so I'm not going to go into like great detail about it. But I just thought it's fun to put them up there. What did you think of the menagerie or the menage, I should say, in general? Did you enjoy like all the creatures and stuff in there?
I did. I did like all the creatures. I will say one thing though. Um they all seem and so they describe them in Enterprise as like lower life forms. Um you know, like the dogs, like animals, that kind of stuff. So
Mm.
but so they all seem like fauna basically, right? From various planets. They don't seem like uh uh, uh I don't know how to say it, but like sentient beings or whatever.
Well, Narj over here was like kind of confusing because at first he's like, oh yeah, collection, like everything's great, and then he's like, of course these things are dangerous, and of course when the Moopsy got out, he
Hmm.
just went like totally, he dropped
I
his
just don't know
whole.
how we got humans mixed up in this. And also, why did he keep like I get it's driving profits, but what like once you know that they're Federation citizens or whatever, why don't you just release them and like have them in like the
No,
waiting room? You know what I mean?
but remember, he was like, it's because, well, for him, he didn't care so much. He was actually telling the truth. Like, they were a big draw, but apparently they didn't want to leave the menagerie because they were well
Yeah,
taken
they
care
didn't want to.
of.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it turned out, yeah. So, but like, I agree with you. Maybe he thought about like returning them earlier, but maybe they were just so like, no, it's okay. No worries. We'll, don't rush it or whatever.
So here's
Like,
my question: would
but
you want to
also,
be
it
in a
doesn't make sense.
menagerie?
What's that? Would I be in a menagerie
Would you want to be in
voluntarily?
a menagerie? Yeah.
No, I would not. Of course not. It's like, I mean, it would have to be
Is
like,
this because the
it would
context
have to
of
be.
your
I
is
would.
this because your life like it depends on the context of your life, right? Like in a situation like Pike or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like the Telosian menagerie works for me because it creates like it's the Matrix.
Mm,
You're not really in a prison if you can accept that it's a simulation and that if you can enjoy that, you can actually live a decent life in their menagerie. So yeah, I would totally be in one of their menageries if I had a,
mm.
you
But
know, if
not a zoo type menagerie.
no,
Like,
I wouldn't be in like a room that with a shield like like over it. Like I wouldn't want to do that. Like who would? Who really would, right? It's not my cup of tea. But yeah,
well, there's a
so
lot of
yeah,
pro.
it
There's not
depends.
just cons, there's a lot of pros. It is like they say. What do they say? Like a glass prison or a golden prison? What do they call it? It is. It's always it's still a prison, but
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's still a lot of pros. You're fed. You know what I mean? Like
But
taken care
it's
of
funny.
completely.
That reminds me because we've been watching Discovery and talking about the seasons over on the salon. I love that moment with the fortune cookie in season 2 where it says not all cages are prisons,
Mm.
and not all, what I forget the rest of it, but yeah, it's a very poignant kind of thing. So in the case of Pike and Talos, it works. In the audience, Benjenium, Benji, our friend. How come my cursor won't move? All right. I would as long as they feed me and I have Wi-Fi. So see, different folks,
So
different strokes.
Twitch streamers would be fine with this.
Yeah, I
Basically,
guess so.
they would get their food and then they could just stream and it all would be
And it's
well.
all good. It all just depends on your personality. I think some of us are more suited. I mean, I do like cozy spaces, but I just
You're
need
suited for the
adventure.
the open air. You
Yeah,
want the yeah
I would want to be in a menagerie that's more like a human preserve, like
a
a human.
safari of sorts.
Yeah, like it's like, well, no, just large
People
open
driving around, driving
spaces.
by, and
Yeah,
like you see these humans
interactions with other
galloping in the
humans.
fields.
Exactly, exactly. Good question, Toddy. Um, anyone else in the audience have thoughts? Let us know. And thank you for all the likes. They're all starting to come in. It's very exciting. Maybe and also our audience size is increasing, which is crazy too. So maybe it does confound that algorithm after
You're
all.
almost at like 1,000 subscribers. This is wild.
Almost, I'm so close, but you don't get anything every time I get to like the quote unquote milestone. They keep like moving it up, so like, so
The
I'll never monetize.
bastards.
But I don't do this for the monetization. This is the journey. It's a personal journey that I started with the TNG episode.
We do
So
it for the
uh,
menagerie.
I do it for the menagerie. It's true, but it wouldn't be bad if I could do something like this full time. But I'm willing to
You
wait
have a
till I'm in like
menagerie of
my
content.
50s or whatever. What's that?
You have a menagerie of content.
It's true. Actually. I just like the way you say menagerie. It's very good. It's very like elegant. Um, Uncle Art says, and thanks for joining us here in the chat. I think I could survive on a good holodeck. Yeah, yeah, that's like the Matrix. Oh, geez, the thing just spoke. The computer just spoke.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that more of us would have like the Barclay illness than we would like to admit. I think we would all become quite obsessed with the holodeck.
I love spending time in this Apple Vision thing. It's kind of a
I still
wild
haven't seen your face
thing.
in that. True.
Oh, you don't have Facebook? I'll send you a selfie I took with it
Okay.
on. But but here's the
Can I see
Moopsy.
your eyes through it, or like can
Yeah,
I see the
it creates
fake
fake
eyes?
eyes. Yeah, like
Ooh,
it creates these like our Uncle Art and I are supposed to FaceTime at some time. Have I not FaceTimed you with weren't we on a stream with the avatar? I haven't done that for you yet.
me?
I'll have to stream with you one of these days.
I've only seen the real you, sir.
Yes, that is correct. You have only seen the real Misa. All right, there's that scene with the thing. That was so good. And there are like wretched humans, and poor Narge when he says, when he's like, "Oh, F the Moopsy tree."
So as a small comment, and this is not like criticism or anything, but this is just one of my little wants and needs. I wouldn't mind it if they just invented swear words, and like they didn't bleep it or anything, and they had him say like an invented word, like he swears in his language. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that would be fun actually, but I kind of think it worked really well in this case.
Oh fuck.
I love her face.
Yeah.
And like those poor little, if you I don't have it zoomed in, but like you can see the poor little they were related to some other, and they were, what were they called? I forgot what they were, but they were like was it not Danubian? I keep thinking of Danubian Slime Devil because of Murph, but well, do you guys remember what these guys were? These creatures?
Hold on, it's probably written on Memory Alpha somewhere. Like
It
the
should
name of
be.
Pyrithian
Anyway,
swamp gobblers.
Pyrithian. So there's like Pyrithian bats on, I think, on Enterprise. Remember that episode where the bat?
Okay.
So these are Pyrithian swamp. What are they?
Swamp gobblers.
Gobblers. That's right. And he was like, they just gobble you, but this thing sucks your bones. It was like so funny. But yeah, so that was kind of a cool thing. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, you see that thing that Q turned into in TNG with the three
Yeah, the Aldebaran serpent.
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran?
Yeah, like the Aldebaran
I'm
whiskey.
reading
Yeah,
off
exactly.
Memory Alpha, but
Yeah.
I don't I vaguely remember him turning into that,
It's how he first appears, I thought,
but it's not a
which is
big
interesting,
deal.
or something like
Like
that.
this is, in my opinion, the best joke of this episode. It cracks me up so much. The
More than
fact,
the Livik stuff.
yes, it's
Okay,
just
okay.
it's so. I feel like the tie-in between the two stories of like um Rutherford enhancing the whatever it is by like 0.05 and then Livik 0.06, and then he's like, let's put this baby in action. And then he's just found this solution, right? He's like, oh, put the thing on, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden it just whoosh. It
It's true.
intensifies. I don't know.
I
It
also like
works for
this
me.
gag where they had the, those, that prop that's like in every episode of, like, not every, but
He
in a
doesn't know
lot
what
of
it
episodes,
does.
yeah, of the TNG era Star Trek, and it's like two, and he's like, Livik made it with three
Well,
rods or whatever, and he
I
named
don't
it
know what it
after
does,
me.
but three is
Yeah,
better.
it is so good. We all know someone like Livik, right? Do you know someone like Livik in your life? Was there someone like that? Always one upping you, kind of like friendly competition, we hope.
Um, Not some. I don't have one like.
Oh, you're at the top of your game. You don't have any competition.
Maybe I'm so
You
low in the
know.
competition that I'm just not a challenger. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. We don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you've got it. I think you've got some skills, Toddy. um, so
They're a bit of an odd couple, I will say.
they're very
Right?
odd
Like,
couple.
I mean, if it works, it works. Good for them. But come on, you know what I mean? Like, they don't agree on everything. I'll say that. And they don't have the same idea of what fun is. Um, but I mean, it seems to be working for them.
Father says, I want to be someone's Levick. I think you are. You might be someone's Levick. I think we're all someone's Levick. Maybe it's true. Good.
You can
At
just
the end of the day,
imagine
he's a good
someone going,
guy. He's funny.
"Fathery, fathery," just someone getting real pissed across the room.
What a weird holodeck simulation that you hear them involved.
It's not that weird though. It's a normal thing. It's just they're doing
You know,
Robin Hood,
you know,
right?
she's like a little violent,
Well, shit,
but I
shit.
guess
Well,
it's a
that's the
good way
thing.
to. That's where
That
you take it out. That's like with the holodecks first. You
he
don't.
wants
You're
to do
not.
Robin Hood in the
That's
traditional fashion, right? But she's not about that.
that's true. She's
She's
not.
like, let's beat up these people, and I don't know what she's into.
It's true. Shax is not looking too happy. What do you think? What do you think is gonna? Well, you already kind of know a little bit what's up ahead of a few more episodes, but I'll start asking you more speculative questions later on. But
Mm,
there's our Moopsy again.
there's Moopsy.
I love Moopsy Vision.
Oh, Moopsy Vision. You love
This is
Moopsy
like
Vision?
from the Moopsy's perspective.
Even Moopsy Vision seems kind and cuddly. Like this
It's
isn't
like
threatening to me. It's all, you know, it's a bit hazy, but it's nice. It's nice colors, you know what I mean?
Moopsy sees in purple, kind of
Moopsy
like
sees in purple.
everyone.
Maybe Moopsy sees um bone people in purple.
Oh, targets. Like
Yeah,
that's how. Oh, that's an interesting way of
yeah.
looking at it.
Maybe if you got no bones, that you're blue or whatever.
This is, by the way, I love this conversation and the fact that you are speculating a lot about like how Moopsy might work because you've always wanted that Star Trek like series where you go like it's like the start
The
like the
Moopsy
yeah like the nature
can
like
live for 53 years.
if you get time you should do an update
I
to
would
your
love. Well, it didn't do too good. The algorithm didn't pick it up, but I would genuinely love. It was a proof of concept. Come on, people. I would love, yeah, a nature show, a nature program about the fauna and the
about these
flora
like
of Star Trek, about these
of Star Trek.
creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
would love it.
I think you should totally narrate it. Proof of concept. Who's looking to greenlight a Star Trek show? Well, it wouldn't even have to be like. It would be like a 3 episode limited series. It totally could totally work. I think. May Star Trek once again be able to do fun things and have deep pockets because it looks like they're on a budget or they're heading to budgets soon with all these
Mm.
acquisitions and everything. So
Everyone's got budget cuts, eh?
yeah, well,
It is. It is the way of the. Well, we've had a big chunk of like Star Trek era.
yeah, no, it's been a very successful era
So
so far. I hope it keeps
maybe
going though.
maybe
Yeah.
there'll be like a slower passage coming up soon. I don't know.
I mean, technically, I'm kind of hyperbolizing something maybe because I mean we
Just
do have Section 31 coming out, and then the Academy shows in
yeah,
development. So I'm not really. I don't think we
Strange New
really need
Worlds is
to.
carrying on.
Yeah, I'm just kind of. I think I'm bummed and in my
It's the
feelings because
Discovery.
Discovery's ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it could have had 1 or 2 more seasons in my opinion. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's the scene we already talked about. There's poor Ensign Gary. And I love this screenshot. I just had to like poor Narj. Goodbye,
So
Narj.
he is a plant, right? But he looks kind of like a
He's
root.
plant-like, but oh god, I wish I could. I write that word down? I can't remember the word. Damn it. Let me see something. Hold on.
He
I'm gonna
looks like a
mute
root.
for a
I
second.
will say though, he has like a little headband holding up his leaves there, his branches. So maybe if he takes it off, he looks more like a
He
tree.
definitely looks like some kind of root vegetable. Ossified. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jill. Jill for the win. So ossified. Um,
Oh, that's
and
funny.
so let's see.
From
Here
from
we
the
go.
French word "os," which means bone.
Yeah. So he said, "I'm ossified to change into bone." For example, the cartilages ossified with age. So he's old enough that he's starting to become bone-like. So yeah, Moopsy, totally food for Moopsy. Poor thing. No wonder he was so freaked out.
Hmm.
And that's why originally they didn't think they blamed him because they thought he'd be immune to it, but he's not. So very sad. This is
So
this is very Star Trek TNG era shows because there were kind of horrific deaths like
yeah,
this.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
What's interesting specifically about the shot that you're showing us, like the animation, is that so Moopsy is white and his collar is white. Um, and yet, because of the darkness of the room, it's shown as kind of like a gray, but the
Hmm.
teeth are not shown as gray. They're shown
Right,
as very white.
right.
And so that
And
contrasts
reflective. They're
well.
made of some
Yeah,
kind of steel or something. They might be made of metal actually.
it's
They
vibranium,
might,
buddy. He's got like
yeah. He's
fucking
got like
Captain America
vibranium.
teeth.
Exactly.
Um, no, but I like it's very effective the way they did it, the way they like colored it and lit it. But I mean, the lighting on the show has always been gorgeous.
It's true. I agree. We've always talked about the particles and like
We've
particle and
gushed
the
about it.
physics and the environmentals. Darren's on Facebook joining us. Any news on the Picard spinoff? Well, uh, no news.
Well, the
uh,
suspense. Well,
if you're on After Dark, ask us there, and we can all give our opinions and educated guesses about it. But yeah, nothing, no updates on that yet. Sir Art says the company that has an offer on Paramount now has an interest in Paramount Plus. It could turn out to be a very bad thing. Oh man,
now
let's
has
not get
yeah
bummed
no
out.
interest in Paramount Plus. Okay, what do we know? What company that is? Is it Warner? It was Warner, right?
It's like Apollo or something.
Warner
No,
wanted to
it's like
merge with no.
there's some kind of like investment group called Apollo or something like that. I don't know. All I know is it Star Trek seems to always survive these things. Like this is nothing new for I think CBS
Well, it's
became
a strong
Paramount. Yeah,
property,
it's the
right? Like,
Viacom.
yeah,
Remember? Yeah, it's there's
I
always things
I don't think
happening.
people would like look at like what Paramount has, like the I don't think people would look at Star Trek and say, okay, scrap that forever. No, I don't think so.
Right, right. So, anyways, so that's what's going on. But yeah, interesting. I'll keep following the chat. There's a bunch of folks who know a lot more about this than I do. So maybe by after dark I'll get schooled. The
They are aware.
station, the menage starts to like descend into the atmosphere. But and that's the scene there. Oh, and then this is Boimler's last little spot that he thinks he can go to. By the way, I forgot to point out from earlier. I love the little
The
figurines he
Spock
has.
and the Kirk.
Yeah, it's very cute, and he like the the different uniforms. I love all
Mhm.
that stuff. So
Mm.
yeah, it's very cool. But again, Rutherford gets beat again. It's like, and then finally, after all that, Mariner and Ransom team up. They're working together now that there's no more misunderstandings. And his solution is to get her to punch him and knock his teeth out, so that they could leave a breadcrumb trail for the Moopsy. I just gotta say, the future's a wonderful place because if we were in that situation,
That's
it would be so
final.
difficult to get your teeth. It's
Well,
not that it's final, but
not
you'd have to
final.
like
Yeah,
have like implants drilled
yeah.
or dentures or a bridge. I think they're called
It's
or
not
something
as
like
final,
that.
but it is more like it's more permanent, I guess.
Permanent, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in the future, you just grow the teeth back. It's great. Like they have like amazing, as we saw, Dr. McCoy gave that lady a pill and her kidneys grew back. Which by the way, I love tying in real life progress. This is kind of a little odd. I think it was a little jarring for me at first to realize it, but then when I thought about it, I was like, there are worse things. But apparently, they were able to successfully use genetically altered pig kidneys, and they were able to successfully do a transfer into a human, and it did not get rejected. So that means that you
Wow.
wouldn't have to wait for a human donor to get a kidney if you had kidney issues. So it may remove
That's
the need
nuts.
for dialysis and things like that. So that being said, I
Well,
don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it is, I think, pretty common knowledge that like pig blood, um, like it's very close to human blood, right?
Oh, really? I didn't realize that
Okay.
either.
Well,
But yeah,
I don't know like the specifics of it, but I've heard that like they will use. I think they use like pig blood to filter out or whatever it is. So they've always been futzing around with pigs.
yeah, it could save a lot of people's lives. Hopefully it'll it's a
I
very
would like us to start. I would feel more comfortable cloning human organs than like
yeah, myself too, but
adapting. But at the
myself
end of
too,
the day,
but
if you can save a
yeah,
life, save a life. Yeah.
yeah. I agree with that. To me also, I fear, are these pigs alive so that the kidneys can be viable, or are they growing just pig kidneys? And like will the
Mm.
next, I don't know enough about the technology. So sorry if that was gross to any of you guys. but, gotta tie in the science a little bit here. But yes,
Teeth. He gets his teeth knocked out.
this is the like very satisfying when you like I had forgotten about this, so it was really cool when I watched it again to remember that Rutherford turned down tons of promotions that he had been offered so that he could stay with his friends, but especially Tendi. So that was kind of sweet to find that out that he'd actually been offered a promotion like 4 times because he had done all these things. It's true, he did do all the things that were like from previous seasons. So good on
He's
Ruthie.
super cool.
Norman has a
They gave him
cool.
the most annoying face. This Livik.
Norman says Prodigy season 2 is still happening on Netflix, which reminds me, I'm so excited. I think it'll come out soon. Hopefully in the fall. I think has been the tradition, but we'll see. So Star Trek animation's on fire as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so he gets that's when Tendi puts him at attention as his senior officer, and gets him to wake up out of his little doubt stupor or whatever. And a doubt stupor, I just invented something. And then so yeah, he gets the rank, the pip, and he gets promoted, and there's poor Rutherford. And then we find out the humans were. I like the reference to the menagerie, where there's like a little passage that you could get out of your cage through because they have to come and give you food or whatever. So that was pretty cool. And let's see here. Oh, there's the
teeth gag.
What was I gonna say?
He just gets some new teeth. Gotta
Yeah,
break
I
him
really
in.
wish I need that. I need braces, and
Yeah,
I
I
hope
do
I don't
too.
have more cavities. I have to
I do
take better
too.
care.
We'll get braces at the same time.
Oh, okay, that could be
Like,
fun.
we can be braces buddies.
Captain Jack got braces. He's going through his braces training. I went through it when I was a kid. He's a kid essentially, so whatever. But so yeah, they end up together, and it's a good pairing. And yeah, I love Boimler Rutherford roommate life. It's gonna be a fun, good thing. But that wraps it up. We covered all the points, I think, right? Was there anything
He's
we
got that
missed?
immediate solution. He's like, yeah, just lower the whatever it is, and then the red goes away. It's like, oh yeah.
He does get used to the teeth. His mouth seems to go back to normal.
So it's a fun episode of Lower Decks. I very much enjoy it. It's not groundbreaking in my opinion, but then like not every episode can be, and it's ridiculous to demand that. But like this is yet again like a good example of what good the show can deliver. So
absolutely,
I have a lot of fun.
10 out of 10 for me. What about you?
7.
Great. That's the same thing as a 10. Whatever.
Yeah, my 7 is your 10. Your 10 is my 7.
Toddy, it was so much fun hanging out with you, and also with the audience. Currently we have 70 viewers, so if you're all there,
70,000 viewers. It's
70. So we actually did a good job of confounding the algorithm this time, so that was really good. Audience, drop your ratings in the chat. I think Norman just did.
Have you seen that clip of Conan?
What clip of Conan?
There's this clip of Conan where like people are like he's explaining who he is, and he says like, I have millions of people work for me or whatever it is, and then his assistants like, we have like 300 people, and he says like, millions of people see this show all the time. She's like, we have like a YouTube channel, so it's okay. He's like, he says all of my staff like absolutely adore me. She's like, he's okay.
I gotta watch that. That's funny. Yes, that's exactly what's going on here.
Millions of people watch this. They tune in every Friday.
It's like Scotty, I've traveled millions of miles, thousands of miles I need to get here in Star Trek 4. Well, again, this was so much fun. I'm so glad we're doing this series. It's really nice to stream with you, and I know my audience and your audience, we have the same audience, are really chuffed to see you, Toddy. So thank you for taking the time to do these. We look forward to next week. What's the episode title for next week? I forget. Let me look it up here.
Yeah,
Lower Decks.
Go check. No, I'm happy. I'm happy to be back and to be streaming. Yeah, and these are nice moments. I know that Mick wanted to have like a discussion with us at some point. He said, he said, I want to be on stream with Toddy and Sahel. So
I'd love to talk to Mick, especially about his interview with William Shatner. That was pretty cool. He's done one, and he got some answers for. He didn't seem to pull any questions back. He seemed to ask some pretty tough questions. So
okay,
yeah, it's very cool. But William Shatner is gonna say and surprise people all the time. I guess
this is also live like on Twitter. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so we got Twitter viewers watching, we've got Facebook, and we've got YouTube right now. So yeah,
wow.
We're on all the subspace frequencies and networks and
that's nuts
channels. Yeah, it's wild.
The streaming game's evolved.
Streaming has evolved. It's true. It's a new thing, and what as soon as Blue Sky offers video stuff and streaming, I'll try to post there as well. I'd like to, migrate more to Blue Sky. A lot of the folks we know and love that used to be on Twitter have actually left or have abandoned their accounts, such as our
Oh,
friend
really?
Paul. Yeah, a lot of people. It's kind of interesting. There are a lot of folks who are like me where it's like, well, I just want to see what happens. We'll go down with the ship kind of thing. But there are a lot of folks that have just decided to leave. But as long as it's around, I'll still be there, hanging out with you Trekkies and and loving on Star Trek. So yeah.
In the cradle of Vixalon.
Yeah, I looked it up too. I forgot to say it. So yeah, that's the next episode, Vexilon, in the cradle of Vexilon. So we'll see you guys there. Live long and prosper, and we will see you next time.